Alright, be right back. Sure.
They said he's friends with Keemstar?
Who was? He actually gave Keemstar the idea of drum alert.
Really?
Huh? Only use me blade. Give me a hug. No. Chat. OnlyUseMeBlade.com.
What's up, guys?
I'm gonna have a smoke with you. It's been a minute. I haven't, what has it been, like a year and a half now?
Huh?
Year and a half since RV?
Has it been? Wasn't it last summer? Yeah, it was last summer.
But we're in November now.
There you go.
So it's a year and a half.
It kind of feels like we're walking into a cryptid sighting at this point. It's been a long time since OnlyUseMeBlade has appeared in an IRL setting. If you haven't really kept up with him, he's done some gaming streams here and there. If you're really removed from what happened to him, did he just disappear? Did his leg fall off? He's basically been taking care of his mom, and that's been his full-time job. He hasn't done any IRL streaming since January of this year, basically, where when he was moving from his house in Missouri, he did some trips to different places, and one of them included going to Vegas, and that is allegedly the last time that he also drank. And here he is reconnecting with another Beck butt buddy, Chicken Andy, who is coming off of some Ice Poseidon challenge thing that he did. There's some other streamers, including one that I did a long form video on recently that'll show up towards the end of this video, but it's an interesting site. We're gonna evaluate their conversation, hear some things that Blade's talking about, see where his mindset is. Where is he really gonna go? Is he gonna try and figure it out, dude? It's gonna be a grand old event, and it's kind of like and you'll notice as this video goes on that it kind of feels like Blade is the actual adult in this group setting that he's in. He doesn't really seem like he wants to be there, but he wants to be there. I don't know, it's confusing to say, but I feel like he did want to see Chicken, he did want to interact with this group again, but him being sober and interacting with them, it doesn't really meld well together.
But I was down to ball out,
Yeah, you just won money.
yeah, but whatever. We are sitting at a bar.
Nice.
How many months sober are you?
January, so whatever that is.
Jesus, 11 months. Are you gonna do a whole year?
Huh?
Are you gonna do a year?
Yeah, about out of the game.
Well, sorry, I got a seat at the bar. I hope that's not. It's so funny.
So if you haven't watched me for a long time, I basically haven't made a Blade video in 6-7 months, something like that. It's been a long time since I've covered him, and I remember speculating on the idea of if Blade is or is not actually an alcoholic, because according to this, as long as we're not being fooled and tricked and gagged, and I honestly am kind of taking Blade at his word, I do kind of think he hasn't drank anything since his streams, because he'll go on to talk about it a little bit later, but the whole premise of his career, I guess if you want to call it that, is he's going to drink on stream because that's what gives content, and he doesn't have to drink off stream. And a lot of people, understandably so, were questioning that, because we're all like, how in the world can you drink as much as Blade does and not have a dependency connected to it? But it kind of seems like he's might be turning his life around, right? I was super skeptical of Blade when he was talking about wanting to go help his mom, and was he actually going to be a good caretaker for her? We don't know the whole story, the whole validity of it, but him appearing to not be drinking and not doing IRL gives some credence to his word of actually wanting to reconnect and help his mom, and I'll give him credit for that. I will. Blade has done some atrocious things, and I'm not necessarily certain that he has tried to form recompense with some of those things, but I think this instance here proved that he was determined to make his relationship with his mom better, and that included not doing IRL and not drinking, and he hasn't done those. So I'll give some credit where credit's due.
Still good donuts, right?
We have a 7-year-old
Still good
son
donuts,
who's
right?
like follows people. We have no
Not
idea who they
not
are.
depending on
So,
After I lost my YouTube, I lost a lot
I don't know,
of
maybe
videos.
you guys are famous. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It's never gonna be-
Yeah.
What caused that?
Huge.
Yeah.
This guy's
Bar fights, I think.
World of
Bar
Warcraft.
fights.
Are you here located in Seattle?
No, Chicago.
Out of Chicago?
But I live in LA now.
My retirement.
For the football game.
Oh, yeah.
They did like a big sponsorship.
Taking care of my moms.
Bunch of video games. First time they've ever done.
You get paid by the government?
Oh,
Like they changed the mascot, they changed other stuff to World of Warcraft.
That's pretty cool. Background doesn't confess background. Yeah. It would have been nice too. It would have been good money.
Are you guys from here?
She's getting up there in age, dude. She's 75.
My grandma's that age.
So throughout this video, we're going to have to listen to Blade be in the background for the most part and try and piece together what he's saying over other patrons of the bar talking, some dude talking about World of Warcraft. There's some things that we have to piece together, but I think the most important part is that Blade is trying to understand this new Kick revenue system that's in place, which is basically if you meet some requirements, you can become like a full-time streamer and get paid hourly from Kick. So I think he's interested in that, and it piggybacks off the idea that he was trying to get whatever, a full-time salary through the government to be the caretaker of his mom, and he got declined because he has a criminal history. And so it makes me wonder how they've been surviving, because if I remember correctly, and I might be remembering incorrectly, I didn't think that Blade had a ton of money stored in the bank, because he would talk about it a lot, about how, you know, I'm doing all these streams, I'm getting all this money, and I have nothing to show for it. So it makes me wonder if he actually had any money saved up. Obviously, his mom is getting some sort of payout, either Medicare and stuff like that, and also disability or whatever else that she might be getting from the government. So like there's some income coming in there, I guess, but I'm still questioning how he is able to survive off of that. I don't know how much they're making, but whatever. So I think he's trying to find some avenue that he can get some extra dinero, and I think that's kind of what his gaming streams have tried to be, but most of his audience is not going to tune into a below average Call of Duty streamer play Call of Duty, and like that's just kind of the reality of it. And so I think maybe this interaction, who knows who reached out to who, but maybe Blade was just curious about potentially getting back on that horse and seeing what's out there.
I don't think you're gonna.
I mean, it's popular because you're in your own market, but
Are you gonna come back? I mean, I guess I gotta ask you. I mean, I kind of know.
because you're here between like 9 and 5.
I mean, I like to come back. I like
We're here at 5 a.m.
I've been sober a year. Every time I appeal the kid, I get mine out of the book. I mean, I already have a following with Kick, you know what I mean? Yeah, I've been playing the new Call of Duty.
Weekly with you, about everything else.
Born and raised.
When was your last stream?
A week ago.
Do people
Where
know?
lady live?
They got like,
Appreciate it. Thank you.
I want to see,
Worth
if
it?
I get my kick on that.
Fire, right?
Link kicks, nice. Honestly, like,
Have you ever said you get paid hourly, so you don't spend on donuts or anything?
yeah, it's pretty nice. It's pretty nice.
So I do okay as long as I know the channel, right? And why did I come chicken eating? Why did I come out here? What the hell?
Yeah, why are you here?
Yeah.
Dumb, dude. I have no connects, dude. You're looking at the wrong. You're barking at the wrong tree.
You told me that before I drove all the way out here.
My bad.
It's not like I want to see you or anything. Jesus.
So that slight jab that Chicken Andy does there, where he's like, do people know that you're streaming? Because obviously he's not making the waves, the rip tides that he was doing when he was doing his IRL content. Now, Blade does have a new YouTube channel, and he's just doing COD streams on it currently. I really don't know what the trajectory of a full-time IRL, non-IRL streaming Blade is, because I think some people would tune in just to hang out with Blade and hear him talk about the game or whatever's going on in his life or whatever, but like a large portion of this group of people that are IRL streamers are there for the crash out, the freak out, the meltdown. They're there for all that type of stuff, and that obviously garners a lot of traction and gets spread much wider than just being a dude who talks while playing a video game, right? So like, it's an interesting idea, and I think that Blade has enough of an audience to be able to get that like threshold to become like an hourly paid streamer or whatever. So like, maybe that's enough for him to be able to get some kickback, get some cashola, put some money in the bank, and you know, I don't know, buy more shoes, upgrade the Cadillac. I don't know what the plan would be necessarily.
Show him. I put it. I don't care.
It's just, I'm just baiting the chat because they won't shut up. Film Blade.
W Blade, what up, people?
Secure the toe.
Okay, so that's called sub TTS. So people that have sub to you, they can talk to you free. I mean, if you're making hourly, you know. So I usually try.
Wait, so subs can actually talk like free TTS?
Yeah,
That's kind of
they
cool.
get free TTS in the chat.
So a lot of people were asking throughout the stream to see his toe, to see his leg. This is all hearsay just based on Blade's word, but he claims that since he isn't consuming the copious amounts of sugar and alcohol that he was when he was doing his drinking streams, that his body has just reincarnated itself. It's healed all the wounds on his body. They're perfectly smooth. He's perfectly crisp. He's perfectly fresh. All right, so stop asking. All right, buddy? Yeah, figure it out, persons. Keep it to yourself. And there is an interesting thing that I have never seen, and maybe I don't watch enough streaming content necessarily to be able to chime in and say, oh yeah, I've seen that before, but the idea of Blade doing a stream where he's basically only focused on his hourly wage and isn't as interested in getting donations, but if you become a subscriber or whatever, you can send messages for free. I feel like that would be a train wreck. I feel like that would be a train wreck for anybody. I don't know. I feel like, especially with all these people, I'm not so certain about that. You're just going to let people all willy-nilly with no stake in the game just throw some naughty foddies in there? I'm not sure about that.
The Jager bomb.
Yeah, so Linky and I are always saying, yeah. So then you're like,
Does anyone here want a Jager bomb?
Can I do that thing, club chowder?
Say that again?
Club chowder?
Club chowder, bowl or cup? Or bread bowl?
What's the size of it?
So a cup is going to be like bowl, bread bowl.
We do a bowl.
Bread bowl?
No, not bread.
Oh, okay. Here's the bowl.
I feel like being sober for a year is like that's like a 10 years in internet time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a long time.
Little hope.
Used to drink. I drink and say stupid shit. I get banned for that all the time. Now I'm sober.
just don't.
So like the whole reason I'm getting banned is for drinking. I'm sober, so why not give me a chance? It's been a year.
So apparently he's been trying to refute his bans from Kick, and I'm actually kind of surprised because the amount of crazy people that can exist streaming over there, and Blade's the one that is going to be forever tarnished, kind of surprising to me, honestly. But like, how are you supposed to tell a bot, hey, I don't drink anymore, please let me back on your platform? I'm not too certain, but the whole idea that Blade came here to talk shop with Chicken Andy about what's going on in his life, what's going on in Blade's life, and to discuss Kick, and then get a bowl of clam chowder to really just wash it down with, is just mwah. That's just like a perfect image, because I can remember some of the times of him eating things in the past, spilling things out of his mouth. It's a good callback.
Chat, yes or no? 2 more streams.
Vegas IRL always makes sense, dude. Like, if you IRL anywhere else, people are like on their way to work. In Vegas, everyone's there to party.
Yep.
And it doesn't close. You go to a dispensary at 3 o'clock in the morning, it doesn't matter.
They're all saying, are you going to come to Vegas with us?
Dude, I gotta take care of it. Like, I have to work. What happened to the interior that you're so worried about? Like,
Oh, dude, there's eggs all over my shit. Eggs. There's eggs scattered because we bought so many eggs, we lost them while I was driving.
Soap and a towel, scrub it, and just get it out enough. You don't have to like return a bar perfect. It doesn't have to look pristine when you return. They're gonna shampoo everything anyways.
It's bad. It's really bad. Yeah, but there's like hot dog grease all over seats and shit.
So just
Clean it.
Yeah.
Clean it. That's like saying, oh, I went wrestling in the mud. What am I going to do? Take a shower.
Pay Blade to help clean the van. What are you doing tomorrow? You want to help me clean?
Clean your van.
does that sound like
I
an
haven't seen you
exciting
in a
time?
year. You want to clean my van, bro?
So I think Blade was just looking for a fun hangout time, but I wouldn't necessarily say that this is the first moment that he's starting to realize that he's like the adult in the situation now, which is such a weird statement to say when you're talking about only use me Blade little bruises, because they got gross shit all over the van and they need to clean it out, but he's too much of a child to understand how to clean, and Blade just can't comprehend that fact, and they want to go to Vegas, so they have to clean up their vehicle and return it before they do. It's a whole thing, but Blade obviously, like, they're gonna get up from here in a second. They're gonna do some shotsy poos, but they'll leave here in a second, and I think Blade kind of starts to realize that, like, he's not super interested in this lifestyle as much when he's not the one directly engaging in it, if that makes sense. Like, without him drinking and trying to do ayos, fire sales, and all that stuff, he doesn't really see the strong connection of being on these streams because they're kind of annoying. Like, every time that you ever watch an IRL stream in public, it's like, man, they're really just messing with normal people at a public establishment, and it's kind of like grating to the ears.
Blade, can you bless my Jaeger? Can you bless it for me? No, wait, that's my beer. No, I just asked you to bless it. Give it your blessing.
What do you want me to bless it?
I need your blessing on my Jaeger.
Go for it.
You poured it in my beer.
Pour Red Bull into it and check it out.
Probably tastes good.
Yeah. What do you want me to do?
Please bless my Jaeger.
What? Last time you got mad at me. What do you want me to do?
Morning's beer.
Give it a blessing. Give us a blessed.
I don't know. Drink it, dude. It's not that serious. It's a solution. It's all.
You know, you should have taken it and poured it in his beer.
So this whole thing is pretty funny because Blade just has no interest at all in playing these little games that Chicken wants to play, and we're stuck with him flicking the cup. And I also have to apologize, for some reason during the stream at this point it started to desync a little bit, so the audio doesn't match up perfectly with what the video is showing, so I apologize for that. But we got him over here flicking a little Jaeger cup, pouring Jaeger into Chicken Andy's beer, and he just, like, I think this is sort of the breaking point, at least in my head, that, like, Blade's kind of like, what am I doing here, dude? Like, what? I'm trying to figure it out, dude, and I'm hanging out with these guys, and I don't think he's necessarily getting tempted, per se. I don't think that he's being swayed by being around alcohol like a typical alcoholic story might be, that if you're reintroduced into the environment, you're going to relapse into it. But we're going to see what his true philosophy is about doing drinking streams, drinking again, and his vision for the future.
Should I check out Blade's old Christmas tree? What did you guys, what type of gifts did you have here? What did you have gifts under the Christmas tree? Jaeger?
You drank that. How long did that take?
6-7 months.
Oh, that's not bad.
That is what? That's a lot, dude.
Oh no, he goes like through he used to go through one ball a day.
Basically, each stream would be like a fifth.
Yeah.
So you can't do that. Okay.
I'm not drinking anymore. I haven't been drinking all year, dude.
I'll tell myself I can't do that. You definitely.
If you drink the first, if drinking is a movie, the first hour and a half it can be fun, and then the last part of it always gets dark. You know.
Yeah.
And most people don't want to be filmed when they're getting drunk.
Yeah.
You know.
Someone said leg hole update.
Smooth.
Smooth?
I'm not taking all that sugar in, dude.
No, it's bad. They asked you how are you sober for a year? How do you sober for a year?
I'm not streaming.
It's not bad.
That's it. Like, I didn't drink off stream. Like, everyone thought that I drank off stream. I never drank off stream. So in order for me to like go through that, you got to pay me. Since I'm not getting paid for it, I'm not doing it. I've been drinking almost a year.
They're trying to make you relapse.
It's $5,000.
$5,000?
Huh?
You know you can make $5,000.
Yeah, if they really want that, I'll get a bottle and do a stream, and they don't even do fire sales.
$400.
You just drink one. Sorry.
I'm not like 17 in peer pressure, dude.
Dude, it's just.
And you can't say I've not kicked it. You know, no one's gonna be like, well, Blade never kicked it. I kicked it.
He kicked it, but
You still kick it, dude.
You hear that, fellas? 5K and you can get Lit Romney coming back to a stream near you. However, he gives the caveat that it would basically just be 5K for a bottle, and he would drink at his own pace to complete it during the stream, I guess, would be the objective there. I mean, I think you would still get some nice fun action out of that, but for the most part, I don't know. I don't know if that's a good investment. I'm sure there's some people out there, you know, they're pinching some nickels together. They're trying to pile a lot of people's money so that we can get Lit Romney to return, but it doesn't seem super likely. And there is speculation out there that like Blade wants to do like a Christmas time stream drink thing, but I haven't heard anything related to that, so I'll throw out that conspiracy out there, but I'm not so sure it's certain. Either way, they talk about going to another bar, and it goes poorly.
We should Arabandy. Let's go. Hey, those are the tracks I bought you, homie. Hey, yes. Purple Army Gang outside with it.
We got the whole crew right here. We got the legend OnlyUseMeBlade.
Oh yeah.
Favorite drink though? What is it? OnlyUseMeBlade.
So you're Arabandy?
Yeah,
I've heard about you.
Thank you.
I've seen so many videos, dude.
So we get the infamous Arab Andy showing up. I did a video about him a month ago or something like that, discussing his whole legacy. If you're interested in that, he's back on the prowl doing streams. I guess I never really considered these three people connecting all in Seattle, but I guess Chicken Andy lives pretty close to there as well, so it kind of makes sense, and they were doing a whole event thing. But I do want to interject for a brief second and just kind of say that, man, you can't be calling somebody a legend who is a legend for getting drunk and being a buffoon online, and then ask what his favorite drink is when Jaeger is synonymous with Blade. I mean, come on, Arab Andy, come on, man. Like, you can't be slipping like that. It makes you look like a poser. It makes you look like a fool. All right? Do you want to look like a fool? How pathetic. So they basically meet up outside the bar, and they're like, hey, let's go to another bar. And they start on their trek to another bar.
No, I do know, but I think I went down the wrong street.
Hey, Blade, so I have a question. Why don't you go on King's Love Tower podcast?
I've been on there.
Oh, you been on there?
That's what how that.
Oh, that is nice seeing you. I'll see what I can do when eventually, if I can.
They wanted it. Where's my car?
They did not want to.
the shit they were saying? Yes, they were.
No, Blade, leave me.
You thought they were joking?
How many seconds do you go through a day?
Probably a pack every 2 days.
Talk every 2 days? That's about what I'm on, I think. I miss you, Blade.
All right, guys, I'm out. I will see you guys when I see you. Email kicked on ban me. OEMB.
You say shout out Andy?
Yeah. Nice meeting you. Shout out, Eric.
Okay. I think you.
Figured out who that is. Slippery Sloth.
Yeah, that's my name, Slippery Side.
This whole sequence is so cringe. They basically are like, let's go to a bar. So they start walking to a bar, and Chicken Andy leads them the wrong way. And then they get there, and Blade's like, I think I'm gonna bounce. So they're like, oh, okay. And he's like, well, if you want to walk with me, you can. So they start walking together, and you got Arab Andy asking Blade a million questions the whole time. And you're trying to get shout outs from him at the very end here. And who knows? Blade needs to cut his fingernails. That's for one thing. All right, buddy, go back home, spend the $2 on a nail clipper, and get those bad boys cleaned up. But who knows when we're going to see Blade again, if I'm being completely honest. I wasn't sure if I was ever going to talk about Blade again, mostly because I didn't know how the whole system with him and his mom was going to work out. I didn't know if he was going to stop drinking, if he was going to keep drinking. The whole thing just seemed weird. And then him doing his gaming streams, obviously that's not my forte, but seeing him out in person, seeing him sober is a pretty good sign. So we'll see if any other connections come his way. But for right now, I think that'll put a pin in OnlyUseMeBlade for a little bit, just kind of like the hiatus that we've had for the past half year or whatever. So either way, guys, hope you enjoyed. Until next time, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.